start. My name? It's Ethan. Ethan Winters. It's been 3 years since everything happened at the Baker house. I was looking for my wife, who disappeared. I got an email from her. She told me to come get her. And of course, that's how I ended up in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana. I found Mia being held captive in a dark basement. She wasn't thinking right. She attacked me like some kind of wild animal. Later on, I found out that she was infected by a special kind of mold. I looked all over the house trying to find an antidote, a vaccine, anything. The people who lived there were already infected. What was left of them wasn't human. The source of the infection was a bioweapon that looked like a little girl. Her name was Evelyn. I fought the fucked up family and was able to treat Mia's symptoms with a serum. Then Chris Redfield and his soldier buddies showed up and saved the both of us. Is that enough? I really don't want to talk about what happened anymore. It's all over now.
Ethan Winters, welcome.
Lycans and gentlemen, boys and girls, bitches, bros, and non-binary hoes, welcome, one and all, to Resident Evil Village. My name is J-Man, and this is Miners Love Games. And let me be the first to say, welcome. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening, morning, day, or night, wherever it is you are. I am doing pretty well, aside from some computer issues, but other than that, things seem to be going well. Welcome to my most anticipated game of the year, Resident Evil Village. Now, as I set everything up, let me give you a rundown of where I've been for the last for the last week or so. I got my second COVID shot of Moderna, and that took me out of commission for about a day. And then I started running into even more computer problems than before, as unfortunately a Windows update from earlier in the month had trashed my Windows, so I had to do a forced Windows reset on that and reinstall a bunch of things, including OBS. But for the most part, I've got everything pretty much right back to how it was before. And everything seems to be... whoops, shit. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. But, all things considered, everything's running well now. I managed to figure out what was causing my computer to freeze up, and I also managed to find what was causing some issues elsewhere. I think I might still have some driver issues, so if I suddenly just vanish without a trace, or if the stream suddenly stops, then I might have had an issue there. But if you stick around for a few minutes, I'll be back in action, hopefully. Like, if you give me 10 minutes to get everything set back up, I should be alright. But I'm not gonna let that deter me from Resident Evil Village. In preparation for this, I started a Resident Evil 7 playthrough, which I saw through to completion. I still have the banned footage section to do, but nothing that is intrinsically important to the plot. As you saw already, that was an intro video that they give you here, but due to audio desync, I'm not going to put you through that. And, interesting note, but like, I'm going to go back and finish banned footage, but only after I beat Village, because spoilers everywhere on the internet, and I can only dodge them like Neo from the Matrix for so long. Now, with all that said and done, let's go ahead and get a few other things out of the way. I've done several test runs already through the game. Well, not through the game, but like through the first 30 minutes. To optimize everything. I've got this running on a low to mid quality setting, but other than that, we're good. I've been having some audio desync and problems with some of the pre-rendered cutscenes, but for the most part, the game is remarkably well optimized, and I'm able to run it surprisingly well. And since I pre-ordered the Resident Evil Village Special Edition, I had access to a couple special pre-order bonuses, such as the typewriter being replaced by a tape recorder, the safe room music is being replaced by Go Tell Aunt Rhody. I'm going to leave that off, actually. Display a special weapon charm for my guns. I think we're gonna leave the tape recorder as it is, but unlike a lot of folks, I'm actually going to turn the found footage filter on, as that'll stop some of the muddier textures from showing through, and I actually kind of like the effect it has on like the audio and everything. The found footage audio, what it does is it kind of gives everything the effect of like the videotapes you could find in Resident Evil 7. So, and I actually really like it because it kind of gives everything this like home movie, old like not grindhouse but horror, old grindhouse horror kind of vibe to it, and it's actually really interesting. But I actually like it. If it gets too much for anyone watching, I'll turn it off. But yeah. But for now, I think it kind of, the duller colors kind of help with the horror setting more. But I think we're gonna leave the Go Tell Aunt Rhody thing off. But actually we're gonna go with the tape recorder, just because, for old time's sake. And with all that said and done, I think we're about ready to go. There's bonuses, such as movies, the concept art, which I'm going to skip because there's spoilers in there, and an extensive event of the Baker incident from Resident Evil 7, which is 80 pages. So I'm going to save that for later, because I really want to get in and do this. But I read through this before. It's from Zoe. Interesting thing about the timer there, 22:55, is the actual time it's using my actual system clock to for that. So 22:55, it's 10:55 over here right now. I almost forgot one last thing, and I'm gonna bring up the stream screen again so that I can get to the other window, because there is a pre-rendered cutscene from when you start a new game that is awesome, but I run into a bunch of issues with it wherein the audio desyncs so badly, and so instead of putting you lot through that, I'm going to instead of putting you lot through that, I'm gonna instead of putting you lot through that, I'm gonna just bring up a video online from Accelerated Ideas of the opening cutscene for the game, so that we don't have to put up with audio desync and less than quality stuff. I know that this is kind of a weirder start, but this is going to be the last hurrah for my current rig. I think I'm definitely going to be upgrading after this. But here we go. And this is how the game starts. Hold on. There we go.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence, the bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free from Mother's grasp and
Okay, sorry about that.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence, the bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free from Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine and under branch, and into the forest deep. Feeling strange eyes upon her, the girl recalled Mother's scary bedtime tales, and her throat became bone dry. Then the Bat Lord appeared. He greeted her warmly and bit his own wing. "Come, child, quench your thirst," he said. So she drank the thick, dark blood and smiled with joy. Passing through the graveyard, menacing storm clouds loomed, and the air turned bitingly cold. The girl was shivering in her thin clothes. Then a dark weaver appeared, and with a click of his fingers crafted mist into a beautiful dress. "Come, child, warm yourself," he coaxed. So she clothed herself and smiled with joy. Across waters deep and ominous she went, hoping a boat she found would carry her home. But hunger's grip tightened and her heart grew heavy. Then the Fish King appeared and offered one of his many fins. "Come, child, eat your fill." So the girl ate, and smiled with joy once more.
This looks
Continuing
like
on,
something like,
she soon entered the
Studio
forest's
would do.
dark heart.
This is very
Then an iron steed appeared, bearing a beautiful golden gear. The creature said nothing as the girl approached and snatched what she thought was another gift. The horse grew angry and summoned the other monsters. Terror filled the girl's heart as a wild wind rose around the beast. Suddenly, a witch appeared, dark yet regal.
And that's where we begin. Now, with enough finagling out of the way, we'll get into the real meat of things and what you're all here for. Resident Evil 8. Now, from that Baker incident thing I read up, it gives a brief history about what happened leading up to the events of... It's like, this report depicts my investigation into the events after the incident at the Baker's residence. The Baker incident, July 2017. A number of people lost their lives at a residence in the middle of the American countryside. It was a truly horrifying tragedy. I still don't know the exact number of victims. And as you can see, this gives a brief rundown. I'm gonna do a read-up of this later. Sorry. I'll do a read-up of that next stream. But for now, let's get right into this. But suffice to say, Chris has gone rogue and things are a lot worse than they seem. So, let's get to it. I'm gonna go with standard, because from what I understand, hardcore is a beast. Now we already got here, and I'm gonna skip this because the audio desync is really bad for this cutscene, but everything afterwards is alright. But let's go. And this is the thing I really like. It doesn't just give you a filter, it makes everything sound like it's coming through an old VHS.
So more in turn is due. In a blink, the girl was trapped inside a mirror. There. She's asleep.
Oh, Jesus.
Creepy story. She's only 6.
That's really bad.